Testing.
Testing. 1, 2. Microphone check. Alright, let me turn this around. Let's see here. Can I think I need to get my other chair. Get my other chair. Oh, I like it.
We are going to switch. Use my switch chair.
Oh, we can do that. Okay, that's a lot better. Do something like that. Yeah, that's good. Oh, slight echo. Okay. For that echo. Okay, I think I got rid of that echo. Hello, Tyler. Clandest. Maybe Dennis is still on, not sure. But okay, so let's see. Get rid of this stuff. This cord. Let's see how long I gotta do that. Okay, I can do it like, yeah, no. Okay. Sounds good now. Okay, cool. Welcome. This is the Black Ponder here on YouTube. This is a live stream. So, Black Ponder, in case you didn't know, it's a philosophy channel. We talk about philosophy. We primarily discuss philosophical texts. But oftentimes we also do live streams where we kind of more free ball it, and we kind of do these hangout sessions, and pretending you're like at a night lounge, a club. You're not on the dance floor, but you're like in the back where the pool tables, the billiard tables are. Maybe you're like not directly at the bar, but you're like in the little couches and seats in the back along the wall. We just chilling, we just talking. And today we're going to be talking about William Bouguereau. I think that's how you pronounce the guy's name. Famous artist. And we're just going to have like a philosophical discussion about Bouguereau. And that'll be fun and that'll be cool. And I have here my assistant's book. So let's see if I can set this camera up. Hopefully. We'll see if this camera gives me some issues. Okay, we already got some interference. I can change that. Let me just, yeah, shit. All right. How do I tilt? Oh, there we go. I'm gonna make this happen. Okay. Screw that tight. Oh, no. What's going on? Why is this? Okay. Do that. And, okay, I think that, well, where's the mouse? Okay, we're gonna be moving the camera all over for now. Okay, so we got Bouguereau in America. So there is it is a museum here in Memphis, Tennessee, where I live, and it's called the Brooks Museum, and it's cool. They got some nice exhibits often, but this is an old exhibit. This exhibit was years ago, and it was a exhibit of the work of William Bouguereau. And William Bouguereau, you've probably seen the guy's works before. We'll talk about it. It's a bunch of like highly like academic. I think they call it academic art, where it's just like so hyper. It's not real. It's like ideal, but it's not idealist, right? So we gotta be careful with our terms here, because I was gonna say hyper realistic, but there is this art movement called realism, which is not Bouguereau, right? And then I was gonna say idealistic, but that's another movement. That's not him. But they're very, they're like perfect, primarily female, like Barbie doll style looking, but not so. We'll see. You've probably seen his work before. It's very standard, but we'll in the society, and we'll talk all about that. So we're just gonna go through this book, and I bought this at the. Oh, here it is. It's I don't know if you can read that. It was Memphis Brooks Museum of Art. That's where I was at, but it's also Milwaukee Art Museum and Yale University Press. Okay, so that's where it's coming from. And let's say we got a picture of the guy. Yeah, we just get. Okay, so. Okay. Yep. And then here's the guy who's one of the what they call those curators. But do they have a picture of the man? I'm sure. Yeah, there's some of the picture. There's some of the art. We'll get to that. I just wanted to see if I could find him. I'm sure there is a picture of the guy here. Or am I tripping? Hello. As you can see, I mean, I've read through this book, but it's been a while. I looked it over. I guess they don't have a picture of the guy. That's funny. All right. Well, before we do that, let me show you at least. Let me just give you the picture of the dude, because hey, I'll just be doing them dirty. Let me pull them up. Wikipedia is awesome. There you go. And then I'll just do this. Okay, so I'll just move this up. Excellent. The colors are so vibrant. Uh-oh. I see chat disconnected. Please wait while we try to, okay, successfully reconnected. Well, hopefully it's all good. So this is, the man is a self-portrait. William Bouguereau. He's a French painter, and he lived. Let's see what just to give you some context. He lived. You have November. This is Wikipedia. November 1825. There you go. 1825 to August 1905. Okay, so that's the time frame we're talking about here. Let's go back to the picture of the guy, and. Yeah, so he was very popular for making these, very colorful, vibrant. They're like idealistic pictures of the human form, and particularly like women. So, and it's a certain kind of woman, right? We'll get into that, and they're very beautiful. They're very beautiful images, or maybe not even so much women as like girls too, females. He also did, he's got several images of men too. In the nude as well, but mostly it's ladies, but it's a female form. And so he was very popular because they looked very pretty and is very idealized and almost like clinical in the terms of the anatomy, but it was very one specific kind of body, right? And it was very popular. Millionaires would buy his paintings. He was very well off financially. He was very popular. He was very commercial. He was a commercial success. Very, during his time, probably was one of the most popular artists around. But he was also criticized often. Because basically, the avant-garde or people who are more. Getting into the realist movement and also the impressionists like Monet and people like that. They would say like this dude, he's just like he's too commercial. He's too mainstream. He's kind of had that reputation. Very mainstream, very commercial, just focusing on selling pieces. Catering to the market and not really doing experimental stuff, right? Not really moving the art craft forward. And because of that, he kind of went into obscurity. He's a little bit too played out. Essentially is what people were saying. Although, the millionaires loved his work. So he was very financially well off, but he always had that criticism. I think he himself says, like, hey, what can I say? He's like quoted saying, like, hey, man, I just give the public what they want, man. It is what it is. So it's that. And then when the Impressionists came out with like all those paintings that were more dreamlike. Surrealism is one of them, but a lot of Impressionist work is quite dreamlike too, and it didn't like cater to like realistic depictions of reality, or like not even like idealistic depictions of reality. They're more capturing moods and tones and feelings of environments and like relationships. It's more of a vibes. It's more of a vibe thing. Which people were really hungry for that, and Bouguereau was not giving them that, so he kind of went to obscurity. And then basically like in the 80s, pretty much the 1980s, he kind of got back into the limelight a little bit because there was this kind of a focus on figure painting. People were kind of getting more involved in like, what, we should focus more on painting that are, not just painting, but like sculpture and sculpture and like, what do you call it, figures. Like people even buy like figurines and stuff like that. It's interesting because what was going through my head was like anime culture and our gaming culture. You could buy like figures, like little action figures, but they're like little, like, not dolls, but just expensive miniatures of like anime characters, right? And so like that, I think that kind of stuff, which started like in the 80s, started getting blown up a bit more. That kind of got Bouguereau back because Bouguereau was very into depicting that kind of artistic style of these like figure-esque not dreamlike, but like clinical, we'll see. We'll see. It's funny because you can't. What I want to say is realistic or like idealistic, but you can't really. I gotta be careful saying those words because they mean certain different things in the art world. Like there's like idealism, which is like a different thing. Even if we're a philosophy channel, and idealism is very different. So we'll look into it. Okay, so why don't I show some pictures? There you go. Some examples of his work, and maybe you'll be familiar with what his stuff is. Now, you might not be specifically familiar with some of the paintings, but you'll recognize his style, right? You'll be like, oh yeah, I've seen this kind of style before. Right? This kind of like hyper realistic, but it's not realistic though, right? It's like ideal. It's like mannequins, almost, right? They're kind of like mannequins. Stuff like that. Sorry, got some glare going on. There you go. And yeah, that's the guy. Oh, here you go. Angels. He liked drawing little girls, youths. A lot of his work is commissions too. Like they're actually like depictions of real life people that rich people that wanted their idealistic self on the page. Oh, look at the little baby. I guess that's a mommy and child. I guess that would probably be a little baby. And then of course you got the sculptures that influence that. Let's see. What's this? I'm just showing you some art here to give you an example. Look at that cool halo effect from my ring light. springtime. That's what that's called. And they're on a date. Basically, that's what. Just enjoying a nice swing. This is a Cupid and Psyche. Yeah, you know the Greek story of how Cupid fell in love with a mortal and eventually married a mortal named Psyche. That's a depiction of that. Of course, you got the Jesus depict, because that was always very popular in those times. The flagellation of Christ. Yeah. So you always got your biblical stuff. But you got your biblical stuff and then you got your nudity. So they go hand in hand. And so you got these kinds of things and we'll talk about that. Nudes. I mean, very pretty. But what's going on is people started getting tired of this. They're like, okay, it was cool the first time, but can we see something else? See, he kind of did that a lot, and it kind of got old. But some of this is really good. It's really good shit. Okay, I'll just quickly go through some of the images that we can talk about it. Okay, got a violin player. Let me see if I can find some really good ones. Let's get some more nudes. See, I don't monetize my videos, so I don't care. Look at that. I don't care. So, my videos probably won't be monetized because they have nudity in it, but I don't care about that. Because I don't monetize the video. So I got that freedom. I see this guy's having a really bad day. Got some people that are really hassling him, Is that funny? He does, a lot of the old school, they'll drape the cloth in such a way that you don't see genitalia. Oh, that's sorry. Oh, my thing's in the way. Oh, well. Okay. There's some really good ones I wanted to show. That's pretty cool. Yeah, stuff like this. Yeah, that kind of stuff. I think I'm gonna have to move my camera over here. I think that's the god of love, Cupid. I don't know why he's a baby form one time and then a male form, a grown-up form the other time. But I think Cupid's trying to stab with his arrow this lady, so she can fall in love with somebody. But the lady's like, "Oh, you silly Cupid, you need to get back." And of course, you got the nudity going on. These are idealized pictures. And of course, this is Dawn. So he did a series where these ladies represent the seasons. Okay, got angels. And I believe this is the Mother Mary, right? Yeah, Madonna, enthroned with child, and oh, okay, no, that's not it. What's this? Oh, okay, that's the Madonna, and that's Jesus, and that's Saint John. So they're strange, but these idealized versions. It's Jesus, yeah, we knew each other when we were kids. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, baby John. And this is nighttime. This is the personification of night. And what is this? Naked lady. Yeah. Anyhow, he would often depict these peasant ladies, these peasant girls, kind of poor, peasant class citizens, primarily girls. You could tell because, bare feet, no shoes, can't afford them. But, he'd always draw the feet like super clean. Like, of course, oh no. Sorry about that. My camera went out. Let me see if I can bring it back. Okay, we back. Sorry about that. It might do that from time to time. Another peasant girl there. That's funny. Do they have a full? Yeah. That's funny. I think that's another, like, Cupid getting all the attention from these. Oh, I see. It's like these ladies are like trying to, Cupid's a way for them to get the love of their life. So they're trying to, like, oh, damn it. Sorry about that. I don't know. I may have to switch cameras here. Yeah. So these ladies are like, hey, Cupid, hook me up. Hook me up. No, hook me up. And Cupid's like, yeah, I got all the attention. Anyway, let's talk some philosophy. Roman beauty. It's just like, it's something else. Okay, that's cool. Let's go talk. Let's talk about, have a little discussion here. Go to my highlights. Okay. Okay, cool. Yeah, we'll see about that camera. Can you even see those words? You can. Wow, that's pretty dope. Okay. While dealers and agents most certainly initiated the American fascination with Bouguereau, there was something about the artist and his work that captured the popular imagination. He idealized polished images of chastely sensual classical peasant children. Oh, classical maidens. Oh, sorry. Sensual classical maidens, Raphael-esque Madonnas, and impossibly pristine peasant children. Yeah, we just talked about that. Came to embody the taste of the American Victorian age and of his Gilded Age patrons. Indeed, long after this period had passed, excuse me, and even today, Bouguereau's work has frequently evoked rapturous responses from viewers. And I put, we are currently in another Gilded Age. So what does the Gilded Age was like, an area in American history when the Industrial Revolution was happening, and then so you had like this, like upper middle class people becoming like high, super middle, like super high class, like in terms of their money. Like you started having people with, insane amounts of money in America. The first like tycoons, business tycoons. The first like Mark Zuckerbergs and Jeff Bezoses and like Elon Musk's, kind of the Rockefellers and those kinds of people back then. And so what you had was like wealth concentration was becoming more and more, wealth was becoming more and more concentrated. So you had this gilded class, these people like shielded with wealth. And meanwhile, like the middle class was kind of like becoming diluted, and you just had like this working class that was just working all day, all night, but a lot of the fruits of their labor were not really benefiting them. They were benefiting this gilded, um, high, like extremely wealthy elite class, right? And and I put like, yeah, we're going through another gilded age because, like I was mentioning, you got the Bezoses and Elon Musk's and and it looks like they're gonna do just fine, and based off of the current election that's happening, like a lot of these people who are extremely wealthy are going to maintain their wealth, and they're going to concentrate it more and more. And so, Bouguereau's paintings kind of speak to that. They kind of speak to that kind of like prestige, that wealth, and that's why a lot of these people bought. They're reiterating this Gilded Age era, right? Let's do some more. Let's see. Okay. It is clear that the undeniable artistic skill visible in the artist's paintings bespoke a level of quality that immediately appealed. In addition, Bouguereau, whose early history paintings testified to a deep mastery of anatomy, color composition, and artistic precedent, understood how to translate those sophisticated traits into canvases with subject matter easily understood and directly relatable. Indeed, it is these very qualities that continue to make his work popular to this day. So he used his technical mastery to create subject matter that appealed to the upper class. So that was kind of Bouguereau's gift. All right, that was his gift of. He's like, okay, I'm very good at like anatomical correctness, like idealizing anatomy. So I'm gonna work that to my advantage and speak to the upper class by painting these pictures of these pristine characters. And even like if you look at these, when it's in possibly pristine peasant children, it's kind of like idealizing the working class, the peasantry. It's like, yeah, these are the people that work for us, and look how beautiful they are because of us. So it's just like, a reiteration of the status quo. All right, let's go to another quote from the book. Let's see, I might have to do some ghetto propping here. All right, move my camera. Boom. So, Bouguereau's painting, it seems connected with something fundamental to Gilded Age identity. As this Cook notes, some of the person that's quoted in with the work here. Bouguereau never forgets that he is painting pictures that are to be bought by rich people for the adornment of their drawing rooms, and he takes care that nothing in them shall be out of keeping with the tasteful and elegant things that surround them. While the author again intended his comments to carry a derisive undercurrent, his words nevertheless portray an essential truth about Bouguereau and his paintings. He understood his audience, and he created paintings utterly in harmony with the identities and the environments collectors were constructing for themselves. Therefore, in looking at Bouguereau's paintings for the American market, we are gazing at the desires, tastes, and preconceptions and aesthetic sensibilities of wealthy Gilded Age collectors. And I put, so what are these wants and desires? So when you look at the Bouguereau paintings, what you're looking at is the desires of like rich people and the wants of rich people. Back then, like really wealthy people. That's what you're seeing, because Bouguereau was selling to them and catering to that market. But what are these desires? So I'm interested to know, like, so what specifically? Like new women, like peasant children, like, well, what does this be like? these depictions of Greek gods, like, huh? Like, and then it says, in order to fully understand how Bouguereau's work fit into the constellation of taste, exclusivity, and the Gilded Age art market, we have to fully understand the buyers and the context in which his paintings were to ultimately find themselves. Mm-hmm. So what is this, like, what is this embodiment of wealth? You know, this, like, what is Bouguereau depicting? That, you know, his buyers, these millionaires at the time, you know, back then, a millionaire was like a billionaire, right? Inflation and such, right? So what is, you know, what is the specific thing that's going on here that he's depicting? Well, let's keep reading. Sorry about that. Let's see. Luxurious mansions, moreover, in a city in which rich and poor often lived in close proximity, were plainly viewed and often described as a form of charity, insofar as the newly wealthy were exhibiting nobility. Let's see. Is that in the camera? Yep. Nobility and taste, so that the underprivileged might learn by example and experience a more pleasing environment when they walk the streets. Mm-hmm. So, you know, the what's it, top-down economics? Yeah, what's going on here? They're like, hey, we'll just you know, put up mansions. It's like San Francisco. You know, so I'm from the San Francisco Bay Area. I'm from the city of Oakland, California, and you know. And San Francisco is like that. But it definitely, I remember that really irritated me about San Francisco, because you would have like super rich people right next to the most impoverished. Like you'd have people living on the streets right next to like high luxury jewelry. Like you'd be seeing diamonds in the window that are worth like, you know, $30,000, and you would see like a homeless person with a sign saying, we'll do anything to work for food, and people would just walk. I mean, it's so hypocritical. Now, what the text is saying here is that it's like, oh, well, that inspires people. You know, that inspires people to raise up from their impoverished situations and, like, you know, and go get it. Right? So, you know, it just reminds me of that whole, like, yeah, luxury, high-end stores that, you know, normal people can't afford, right next to like some of the worst poverty that you see. I mean, literally, like you would walk these streets and you would smell like feces and urine, right? Because there's no public bathrooms. And so, like when I was in Sarah, they might have changed that. I don't think so. I think the situation hasn't changed at all from what I hear. So, like, you know, some people would argue like, oh, you know, these homeless people they're using the bathroom all over, you know, they don't have no respect. It's like, dude, there are no bathrooms to use. Like, so where are they gonna go? Shit. And then you'd see like super rich people with like Abercrombie and Fitch suits, with just walking right past, not even acknowledging it. It's just, so yeah. And you're saying nothing ever changes. I know, right? It's crazy. Forming art collections was viewed from a similar charitable perspective, in part because many collectors would open their homes to visitors from time to time. With this context in mind, it is not at all surprising that Bouguereau paintings, grand, exquisitely painted, and bearing the imprimatur of the French artistic establishment, fit into this environment perfectly, endowing their owners with the dividend of prestige they carried with them. Mm-hmm. So I put, like, what is it? Flaunting wealth as a form of charity, being wealthy as a service for the needy, justifying hiding the exploitation of the poor. Oh, see, that's what's going on, right? See, now we're getting deep, we're getting philosophical. You know, like when you saw the pictures of the poor peasant children, it's like, oh, you know, we actually care about you know, the peasant class. That's why we're depicting them in such beautiful ways. Yeah, and it's like a charitable act. Like, look how beautiful we depict the lower class people. we're so beautiful. I bought like this painting because I spent so much money on it because I respect poor people. But I mean my business is creating this poverty. But I still care about them. That's the irony. So it's like it's justifying their position of power and also like hiding their exploitative nature of like their wealth generation, right? Okay, I say continue on next page. And I put here, okay, because I'm gonna need to move the camera. His grand scale, the way in which his work embodies the opulence of the Gilded Age, his exquisite technique, and his uncanny ability to choose subjects that delight rather than affront have doubtless helped to make him a perennial favorite. Certainly, regardless of the period, his paintings seem to carry with them the promise of legitimacy. Uh-oh, sorry. My camera. Okay. Be back. Well, I was gonna move my camera anyway over here. Good thing that kind of just worked out. Oh no. Bro, what's up? I would hate to have to buy a new GoPro. Those things are expensive as fuck. Okay, so to carry with them the promise of legitimacy, dignity, and status. But while Bouguereau showed a remarkable willingness to adapt to the taste of his buyers, he also always sought to the beautiful in his art. In fact, in an 1891 interview, he remarked candidly, "What can you do? One has to change with the taste of the public, and the public only buys paintings that please it. It's why I change with time my manner of painting. I know that this style is the object of a lot of criticism. In painting, I am an idealist, right. I only see beauty in art, and for me, art is beauty." So, I mentioned that before. They're like, dude, you're just a commercial. You're too commercial, dude. You're just like catering to the mainstream public. And he's like, hey, what are you gonna do? Shit, that's what they want. I'm gonna give it to them. That's basically his idea. And so he was aware of that criticism, and he's like, hey, I'm an idealist. I idealize stuff, right? That's what they pay me to do. So if you give me a poor person, I'm gonna make that poor person look beautiful, and I'm gonna, not, when I depict a peasant girl, you're not gonna think like, oh shit, that's a fucked up situation this peasant girl's in. She's living a life in poverty. You're gonna see what you're gonna say is, oh, that impoverished girl is so cute and pretty and like, adorable. Is romanticizing poverty, right? And that's what he did, right? And and so in that way, like the upper class was not, that's their way of avoiding their the reason why they are so wealthy in the first place, right? Right, because to have a billionaire, you gotta have people working, and having work that's exploitative, right? Beauty is in the eye of the beholder, however. So, what kind of beauty is Bouguereau creating for? What kind of ideal? Right? That's the questions I asked, and I think we went over that. This kind of depiction of this idealized depiction of poverty and like the cause of the result of that kind of wealth. All right. Uh-oh. Is it? The camera is frozen. Yeah, the camera is frozen. Let me, all right, it's off. Hold on a second. I think I'm gonna have to reset this. Okay, so I'll delete this. Hold on just a second. Remove. Okay. USB. Whoa. It's just frozen. Okay. All right, we back. Technical difficulties. I don't know what else is going on. But we gotta keep rolling. I'm back. Sadly, that's probably gonna happen again. But we'll just move forward. Now. Let's see. Bouguereau never forgets that he is painting pictures that are to be bought by rich people. Okay. Since one of the things that rich and fashionable people take pleasure in is the knowledge that there are others in the world who are not so well off as themselves. Bouguereau has provided for his admirers an ample supply of free beggar children, young peasants, mothers of the picturesque poor, and so forth and so on, who are in truth people of the upper class, okay, or seem to be such with beautiful faces, fine heads of hair, rich eyes, chiseled lips, ivory skins, hands that never wear gloves, feet that never wore shoes, and in a state of immaculate cleanliness, and in garments where if a patch or two is to be seen, it is accepted as mere symbolism and offends nobody. Right? And then I say they are as pure, as passionless, and as cold as an anchorite could desire. Now, in an orderly society regulated by wholesome rules dictated by conventional property, such a painter is sure of his reward. And as such a society is naturally founded on sound commercial principles, it is an added recommendation that whoever gets a picture by Bouguereau gets the full worth of his money. In finished painting, first-rate drawing, and a subject and treatment that no well-bred person can find fault with. What did I put in my little notes here? I said rather the rich wants to see the poor as a caricature. Non-threatening, yeah. and of no consequence to them. Right? Yes. Right. And I found it interesting that it would say like, is depicting all these poor people, but the depictions are actually like rich people in poor people's clothing. Like that's what's going on. That's exactly. Because they're very clean and like I said, there's the bare feet people walking around like of course like if you're without having no shoes, you're walking on the ground all day. You're gonna get sores and corns and bunions. But not these characters. Right, because they just pose. It's fascinating. It's a fascinating thing. This is what's going on. Let's see another quote here. Can I do this? I guess that's fine. Oh, no, I think I should do this. Okay. Perhaps the most surprising aspect of American criticism. Oh, I'm sorry. Damn. I'm echoing. I was echoing that whole time. That must have sucked. Yep, I don't know. My bad. I don't know what to say. I'm sorry. Because I reset the camera, and so the internal microphone and the camera turned on, and I got this other microphone. Yeah. But that's like, what is it? Inside baseball. You don't care about that. So, yeah, my bad. But I'll just keep going here. Perhaps the most surprising aspect of American criticism of Bouguereau is the apparent unwillingness of most critics of his time to refer to his work as what it was, bourgeois. One of the few who addressed that issue directly was William Crary Brownell, who noted the following about the artist's works. If they appeal to a bourgeois, a Philistine idea of beauty, of interest, they do it with a perfection that is pleasing in itself. No one else does it half as well, so well. So Bouguereau captures the bourgeois fantasy perfectly. That perfect capture is the appeal. Yeah, it's like a fantasy. It's like, it's this idea that being rich, your wealth is creating this fantastical world for everybody. Like, not only is your life good, you're making other lives good because you're wealthy. And so you depict the poor people who are like the reason why you're wealthy, right? Because, you could go back and forth about like, well, wealthy people invent shit, or they like have a good idea, or like they do hard work in it. But really, a business needs labor to function, right? And laborers usually don't get paid as nearly as much as the people who are actually in charge, right? And so and of course you can get all Marxist about it and say like the laborer doesn't really get the fruits of their labor. That's what the capitalist gets, right? But to counter that critique, you can look at a Bouguereau painting and be like, what are you talking about? Look at these peasant girls. They look beautiful. They're amazing. They're well off, and it's because of us. And that's like that becomes this fantasy. Like, oh, they're so beautiful, and we did it. Right? All good. You're locked in. Cool. All right, so what's going on here? I can move my camera. The Brooklyn Union reviewer observed sympathetically that the girls look tired and careworn. They are not the bold, itinerant class. That is, they are not gypsies, but instead give the impression of being well-bred members of a family fallen on hard times. Well, I mean, that's the word they use. Some people are offended by that word, so they're not, we'll just say, peasant class. They don't. So what did I put in my notes here? Social injustice framed and packaged as non-threatening to the bourgeoisie. Yep. So they're talking about this picture. Even oh damn, I can barely see it. Okay, even the little girl. I guess they're it's kind of like busking, right? What is it? Far from home. Oh, okay, yeah. I can imagine like they're busking. This girl's like playing the fiddle for some money, and then the girl's got her hand out, please. But they're looking all. They kind of look tired, right? But they also have this idealized beauty to them, and they also got like they have no blemishes or anything like that, so it's not realistic. They look like rich poor people, right? And it's not realistic. So despite her plaintive upward gaze and teary eyes, she is beautiful, clean, and well dressed. Graceful pathos proved popular with Americans. And that's the lie. I'm just reading my. Sorry. Let me see if I could. Yeah, that's good. Social injustice. What did I put here? Social injustice. Okay. I can't read what I wrote. Social injustice is an unescapable reality, so just accept it and look beautiful accepting it. Oh, okay. Keep calm and like to keep calm and carry on type. Okay, that's what I put. Yeah, it's this notion of look, social injustice is just a thing that's just a reality that you can't escape. So you might as well look at the beauty of it, right? Isn't it beautiful in its own way, right? It's kind of this warped way of coping, and it's not even coping. It's just like a lie that wealthy people tell themselves. And you see that today, right? With a lot of like van life. You go on YouTube or TikTok or whatever. Van life are like, people traveling the world with like barely anything. I guess that's a pretty good analogy of today. It's like people living in their vans and like making YouTube videos about it. It's funny because I have friends who've actually lived in like who are actually like broke, and they look at those videos like, yeah, that is definitely not like a realistic depiction of what it's like to actually live in a van, because living in a van sucks, right? It's what, like, I know people who've lived in vans for years, and they'll look at these van life people and they'll be like, so it's kind of like this idealized depiction of like poverty. And it's funny, it's interesting because you watch a couple of these van life and they do it for like maybe 6 months, 8 months or so, and then they're like, okay, I'm back home again. Like, it's rare to see. I have yet to see like somebody doing that like all consistently, like and like say like, yeah, I want to do this for the rest of my life. Like, you don't see that, right? There's a way out. But what if you had no way out, right? So you see modern examples of this today. So what did I put here? Oh, okay. Okay. So, I have you. Okay. So what did I put here? Again, I'll move my face so you can see the picture. But while the large version of the indigent family remained in Europe in 1866, coup bill sold the reduction to, okay, what is this? This change in title subtly shifted the meaning from begging to giving a nuance possibly intended to make the work more palatable to an American audience. Oh, I see. They changed the name from like beggar to like, a more palatable name. Yeah, again, it's like a fiddler, like a broke fiddler with like perfect like, yeah, I mean, I work, I'm part of a few groups that do that feed homeless people, houseless people, and so some of them do, like, they don't have no shoes, right? And yeah, their feet, they don't look like they're toe down, right? Of course, you walk in the street without shoes, like your feet could be toe down. It's not gonna look like that, or your hair is not gonna look that pretty. You're not gonna actually have blush on and shit. But yeah, look at this one, shit. There you see. I love how the halo, the halo effect. That's from my ring light. I'm doing some idealization here. The charitable act reinforces, justifies the bourgeois status, allows the rich to continue business as usual without examining their role in the cause of the social injustice. So, Bouguereau highly idealized figures advance the artist's message. Perfection of charity conveyed by perfection of form. As a beggar asking for money. And, we could talk, which I've talked a lot about on this channel, about like, there's charity, right? And then there's this philosophical concept, this political philosophical concept called mutual aid, which is against the concept of charity, where charity is like this way of helping that doesn't really help. It just reinforces systems that impoverish people. It's like band-aid solutions that don't really go anywhere. It just makes wealthy people feel good about themselves, much like these Bouguereau paintings. Whereas, mutual aid is a kind of helping that addresses the root cause and be like, well, maybe part of the reason why these people are poor are because of these Bouguereau paintings, and maybe we should start depicting poverty in actually how it is, right? Yeah. But, not to knock, and the book doesn't knock like, hey, he's a great artist, he's got a lot of skills, and these are very beautiful people, but there's some crazy, kind of perverse things going on there, if you really think about it. I mean, look, we'll go to the girl, but look at his mother. It's just like, I got so many children. I'm sorry. I need help. Like, poverty is beautiful. This is great. Literally, like, this picture is literally called Charity. That's the title of this picture, Charity. Oh, I see. So the woman is a personification of the concept of charity. I see. And she's helping these children who are like impoverished kids. Beautiful woman. Beautiful girl. The knitter. Okay, so what's being said here? I'll just show the picture. There you go. Hey, okay, we got to use that halo effect. Hello. American artists rarely depicted beggars, as their patrons preferred a more positive view of life in the United States. Moreover, many of their countrymen subscribed to the idea of the worthy or deserving poor, those who worked rather than those who begged, thus affirming the traditional American values of industry and ambition. They just tell it like it is, right? The idea like, oh look, people are poor because they don't work hard enough. And if you want to like get rich, you got to work your ass off, right? And then you'll make big industry like they do, where that's not actually how wealth is generated, right? Wealth is primarily inherited, right? Right, and wealth is generated through exploitation, right? In the United States of America, and you could probably argue the world. Did I mess up the halo? I think I did. It may be that Bouguereau's images of beggars appeal to American buyers for other reasons. The children are young, female, attractive, and foreign. That's nasty, but yeah. More importantly, his paintings seem to promote the ideal of Christian charity, a message which did resonate with Americans. Organized private charity, particularly through religious groups, was the major means of helping the poor in the post-Civil War years. And philanthropy without social economic critique, without focus on systemic change, ultimately perpetuates and sustains the problem. And I did a video about this book by his name is Dean Spade. It's called Mutual Aid, and it talks heavily about that very social economic critique, philanthropy, I guess. But mutual aid is so much more than that as well, which check out my video on that. But that's interesting because it really talks about that here. Cool. I think that's all I'll cover. So, let me get a good shot there. I don't care. I don't monetize my videos. I don't care. Unmonetize me. That's art. Nudity should not be taboo. I mean, can we have I guess they're not showing the genitals. I'd show that too. I don't give a shit. Anyway, I think we'll end it here unless somebody has any comments. I would like to, what's that? You never walked around with just bed sheets. Hello. Nobody does that shit. But they doing these Bouguereau paintings. This is funny, right? Baby John and Baby G. They knew each other. They grew up when they were. I guess the Mother Mary was they would just hang out. They would play in the pen. Idealized to the fullest. And of course, these are actual people. This isn't. Oh, whoops. That's an actual person, because they would commission their portraits. Yeah, where's that? I can't find this image. I see the blown up version, but I don't know. The satyr and the nymphs, I guess. Oops. Sorry. He did a lot of depictions of the Madonna and Christ. Baby Christ. Look at this. Oh, you saw it already. I mean, what's even the point? I mean, it starts getting ridiculous, and so, you can see where the people would start. Okay, dude, the critique is starting to open up. What is this? But again, I don't want to say oh, Bouguereau's a horrible painter. Dude got skills. The dude got skills. He can depict anatomy very well. It's just he was very mainstream, and he's ultimately, and this is I think depiction of Homer and his guide. Oh, okay, so that's some Greek mythology, some ancient Greek history there. He would just fantasize poverty and exploitative relationships between the wealthy and the poor, and the wealthy people ate it up. Up there, thank you. It did that by itself. Okay, nice. Okay. Oh, I think it froze again. That's too bad, but that's fine. We're pretty much done. Oh, that's actually a great place to freeze, right there. The reds are so. We'll just keep it there. There we go. So yeah, I just want to thank you for tuning into the Black Ponder. We talked about Bouguereau. It was fun, and sometimes I do that. I do some coffee book table. Some coffee table books and just go over them because I got a lot of these, and they're fun to talk about. And I think it's nice to do that sometimes. Just do a coffee book. And I got a few others that I'll talk about them as well. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. We had a few technical difficulties. Oops, we're having one right now because the camera is frozen. But we're about to end, so it's all good. Sorry for that. I think really I have a GoPro 7, and I think the 13 or the 12 is out now, or maybe the 14 or maybe the 15. I don't know. It's that GoPro is very old, so they don't last forever apparently. But I've used that, put it through its paces. I used to run marathons. I did an ultra marathon, 50 miles, using that thing. So yeah, it probably gets a little beat up now. But it is what it is. I'm gonna keep rolling. We're a lo-fi channel. And then Tyler saying, thanks for your time. Hope to catch the next one. Yeah, hope to see you then. But yeah, peace out. See y'all later and in my next video. And yeah, bye-bye.